Hello Internet, it's snowing. It looks like someone murdered a pillow. And it isn't even Halloween yet. Now, as you can see, I am not back at home by all the boxes. I am here up north in Sweden again. And the difference is huge. I lived in Skåne, which is one of the most southern parts of Sweden, for 10 years now. And I am up in the western bottom, Västerbotten, which is close to the polar circle. And they had their first snowfall the day I arrived. Now, to just illustrate what a difference it is, back in Skåne, there are spring flowers blooming. You know, those are like a lot of sunshine and usually arrive before the trees. And roses are budding and blooming. And when I stepped off the plane to come up here, the flight attendant told me, "Oh, better wear your winter shoes." And I was like, "No, it's not that cold," because I had read the news. And he said, "Well, yes, it is. There's blacktop ice everywhere." And so I looked out before I stepped out, and he was right. The ground was literally frozen. So walking from the airplane to the airport, I almost slipped. I felt myself lose my balance and jerked up, jerked. So walking from the airplane to the airport, I felt myself kind of slip, almost lost my balance, but didn't really. But behind me, someone actually fell. I could hear him or her skidding around on the ice. And then when I got out from the airport and had gotten my luggage, it was snowing. And I was actually just mesmerized because in Skåne we don't usually see snow until after Christmas, usually. Maybe we get snow for New Year's, but yeah, I wouldn't count on it, not lately. So having snow more than a week before Halloween was just unreal. And it's snowing again as I am recording this. And earlier today when I was at the gym, I looked up out the window and it was snowing then too. So it keeps being, they're like little snow showers. And it's not a snowstorm. There's not those thick, wet clumps of snow. It's just a little feathery dusting. Now, down in Skåne, it's usually, well, it's one of the warmest parts of Sweden because we are the furthest down south. So we get really warm summers, and the summers are really long. You could literally walk around in a t-shirt probably. You could probably still walk around in a t-shirt down there. Might get a little chilly, so I prefer a long sleeve tee or maybe a shirt over a hoodie. But it's not cold. And then I get up here and I'm really, really happy I brought my winter cloak. And then I get up here and I'm really, really happy I brought And then I get up here and I am really happy I brought my winter jacket. I also brought my autumn jacket, which I wear at home, which is just a layer of fabric and not much else, so it's warm. Not much else, so it really wouldn't protect me here when it's below 0 degrees Celsius. Still snowing. Then it's gonna blah. When I was here, when I was up here earlier in the summer, it okay, so I mentioned earlier that I'm close to the polar circle. And for those who don't know, the polar circle is, well, an area around both the North Pole, it's an area around both the North Pole and South Pole. And since the Earth is spinning on an axis, it's not like spinning like this, it's tilted, and it spins like this, instead of like this. Which is the reason why we have different seasons, because when the Earth, even though it spins, because that's how we get days, it reaches a certain point in spinning around the sun, parts of the Earth become further away from the sun than they would be during the summer, for example. So instead of and this makes it, and because of this, now I mentioned earlier that I'm close to the polar circle, which is, well, an area around both the North Pole and the South Pole. And since the Earth spins on an axis, not round, like a complete upright ball, it's slightly tilted, which is why we have seasons in the first place. And the funny thing is that during the summer, the hemisphere that has the summer is tilted more towards the sun, which is why it never gets dark. So when I was up here early in the summer, at 2 a.m. it still wasn't dark. The sun was just behind the horizon, because I am not up over the line that is the polar circle, and right below it gets darkish, like sunset or dusk or twilight or whatever. But that also means that during the winter, if you're in the polar circle, the sun doesn't go up at all. Which kind of sounds like something from Game of Thrones, but I personally think that's where he got the idea from. And it's called polar night, because, well, it's nighttime during the day as well. Now, I'm not that far up. I'm a bit below it, which means I get a couple of hours of sunlight a day if I stay here during the winter. And so, like, right now, it's not that dark yet, because it's only October, even with the snow. But during winter here, you get a few hours of sunlight in the middle of the day, and then the sun is gone. And I actually think that's pretty cool. Now, I like the winter because I am a crafty person. I like to knit and crochet and do all kinds of crafts. But try to sell someone a knitted shawl in summer. I dare you, because it doesn't work at all. But during winter, everyone loves my knits and stuffs, and usually I get to see some people wear them, and I get to wear them, and it just makes me happy because they're actually useful then. Because apparently I am the only one who gets cold in summer. Which is why I'm thinking about moving up here to the land of always winter and no dark summers. Being this far up also means that the summers are a little cooler. For one, when I was back home in Skåne, the lilacs are done blooming. In Skåne, flowers like lilacs and such are done blooming by June at the latest. You can't find a blooming one to save your life. But when I got here in August, they were just budding and just coming to life, which I love because then I got 2 seasons of lilacs because they're one of my favorite flowers. But it also means that the summers up here are way shorter and way cooler. While back in Skåne, the summers are almost a month longer. Like if you think temperature-wise and the degree of heat you get is way more summer in Skåne. And now that it stopped snowing, I'm gonna finish it. And now that it stopped snowing, I'm going to end this video. I'll put a link to my last one down in the information bar. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!